world hear me? That is the first question that everyone must answer. If you can hear me, then I can get rid of these headphones and just talk to you without them. Let me know. Can you hear me? Let's start a new poll. What did you think of this episode? Loved it. 8 to 10, 10. Liked it. 6 to 7. Okay. 4 to 5. Didn't like. 1 to 3. So yeah, let me know if you can hear me as I set up this poll. And volume level 2, and there's a poll. Yes, let us know. Let me know if you can hear me. Type yes, no, maybe, possibly. If you therefore can't hear me, then you wouldn't be able to say yes. So if no one says yes, then of course don't say anything. So if you don't say anything, then I'm not audible. But will the first person say? Someone just say yes. Okay. Hello, everybody. There we go. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, cool. So I can just use my normal headphones, or normal speaking voice. So yes, welcome. This is a extremely rare Samuel first reaction, Commander first reaction, because Stuart is currently in America. How fancy for him. He is at Wonderfest, the yearly place he goes to meet wonderful modelling friends of his. And because, you know, he normally does this video, I thought I'd jump in, not let the side down and do live. I push it to 10 p.m. GMT so more Americans could show up, hopefully. We'll do the 2 hours if we can. Depends on you guys' feedback and interest on this. But it's the season finale. And first reaction, so I hope you all have thoughts and comments. I genuinely really want to know what you guys think. And I've said I've not talked to Stuart about it. I've not talked to anybody about it. Literally, I've not even said anything out loud about it. So I really want to be with you guys. You know, treat me like a more British Stuart. Hey Han, and let's discuss, debate, talk about that adventure. And yeah, anything you say, I'll jump on and talk about. And then super chats are what makes the channel go round. So anything will be brilliant. So Sergeant Montgomery's first $2. Agent effing Daniels enjoyed Disco's send off with a salute. Yeah, that was I wonder if that was intentional. If that was intentionally planned, is that a reveal if they retconned it? Don't know. And vote in the poll. Olivia, no Marie. Oh god, I've got to read everything, haven't I? No Marie, no Cap, just Sam. Oh no! And everyone to see the Cap more. We miss you, Foley. He's been gone like one hour, 1 day, you know. Gosh! But yeah, it's just me and no Marie. But she might be back soon. Fleetboard, $2. Have no fear. Fleetboard is here. Audio is 5x5. Yes. Good to know. Yeah, so in the poll, I've asked a very clear poll. What do you think of the episode? Loved it, which is 8, 9 to 10 out of 10. Sorry, monster. Liked it, 6 to 7 out of 10. Okay, 4 to 5. Or didn't like it, sort of 1 to 3. I probably could add 0 there, but you know, it's not a 0, right? I don't know who would say it was a 0. So yeah, super your thoughts. Everyone's whatever. Oh, I should probably share this. And we'll live this first reaction together with what we all thought about it as a community. And I don't know if Stuart's seen it yet, so I don't know if he has thoughts. He might not have seen it yet. Join me right now live as I do a solo first reaction to the final episode Star Trek live now. Come join the fun. Yes, make sure that I is capitalized. So yeah, put in your thoughts in the chat and let's see what you all think. Oh, come on. Okay, Trekyards on the Facebooks. Let's get those into the modeling group. It's so hard to not do spoiler thumbnails with this one, because everything pretty much is a spoiler. So I do like my Enterprise reference in the tag. That was my little you know, Enterprise. Oh, come on, PC. There we go. Right. Yeah, Calypso. Does the shuttle a send off? Yes. Canadian starships. Well, you know, leave. So he says, much like the movie AI, the whole last act wasn't needed. It could have easily been 25 minutes shorter. If it had, we've had less answers. Maybe. But yeah, let's see what everyone is saying. So, Thanassa says that. Oh, you liked it. 9 out of 10. What happened to Zora in the end? Don't know. And it's the mega feature now, so no one's going to know. Brian, that was a disappointing ending. Oh dear. Oh, Brian just finished up the last episode. Welcome. Joseph says, wow, they really stuck the landing. Happy with it. Okay, mixed reaction already. Okay, so we're going to finish Calypso. Does Calypso match up with it? That is a question. Wait, I thought we were in direction. Yes, we are. Me, hello. It's incredibly obvious where this was supposed to end. Maybe. I feel like the wedding was tacked on as well. Or as in, yeah. Because ending at the book beach thing would have been a really weird place to end. But we can get into that. I think the ending's a bit strange. Did you like it or was it a mess? I started watching after season 2. I mean, I think season 3 is the best. For its structure and pace and whatnot. I mean, you know, it's okay. Has some good and a lot of not a lot of bad, but not a lot of amazing anymore. Hello, Han. Oh, Canadian's going to Wanderfest tomorrow. Lovely. What the hell's going on with that jump to the future? You know, it's a common trope in TV to show 20 years later, and you get a sense of, well, they lived, and everyone can have a little moment that expresses, they all were fine. Pretty classic storytelling. Smart, I put it at 8. It was around what I'd expect. The only problem is the action scenes felt like filler. Yes. Didn't Dales die in Enterprise? No, because the time war, all that stuff got changed anyway. Ultra surprise. 4,000. Yes, 4,000. God, I haven't watched it unspoiled. Well, you shouldn't have gone to first reaction spoiler review, should you? That's on you, sir. That's on you. Yeah, I gotta watch. That was Warp, Brian. Yeah, so put your thoughts, chats, comments, and questions. I'll jump on the super chats when I see them. So, what did I think? What did little old me think? I thought it was decent. He says with a slight question mark in his own voice. It was a weird one, right? Because an hour and 23, I thought it was going to be that last time on was like 6.5 minutes. And the credits were going to be 6 minutes. It was actually going to be only like 1 hour and 10. But no, 3 minutes of last time on, which was fine. And you guys tell me if you agree or disagree. But I found the initial bit, I would say, from the appearance into the other dimensional realm, I feel like that, and so the start up until she meets the progenitor, I think that was kind of boring, which is funny because that was meant to be the action bit. Personally, because I you see a lot of film, TV, and the pace and structure and excitement. I found the fist fights unnecessary and boring, like I said, because you know, in old Trek, you'd have these intricate, clever sequences, and we had like 3 or 2 fistfights. It's like there's just nothing. It's absolutely no waste of everyone's time and money, right? Especially when you got Fate of the Galaxy, why is Burnham punching things? It just felt ridiculous, and it took a lot of the time away from the episode. So that, to me, felt amazingly wasted in terms of time and effort, and boring, really, really boring. The space battle with space battle inverted commas, the space battle with the Breen again was awful, but I've not seen a single good Discovery space battle, and I've made a lot of space battles, so I have a reasonably good eye for that. All bad, all bad in Discovery, and this was bad, properly bad. It was half-assed, it was uninteresting. The idea of all these fighters, and then if you look at them, they're the scale of like half the saucer, right? So they're not fighters; they move like proper, you know, proper bigger like light cruisers or whatever. You know, they're all just pew-pewing, and Discovery's doing this, and the classic, oh, shields are down to 60%. It's like, okay, well, so are they a threat or aren't they a threat? Really boring, really, really boring. Easy resolution, felt right out of any scripting 101. Oh, there's a plasma field there! If they're stupid enough to go into it and chase us and have no strategy, or blow it up, this is lazy and dumb and waste of everyone's time. And to have the reaction be, they're genius! What a genius plan! Like, no, it's not. We could as soon as I said it, like, that's obviously what's going to happen. So that was pretty lazy. And like, I don't really buy the photon torpedoes aren't going to be pulled by the gravity of, you know, black holes. Just saying. So that was pretty bad. And then I was put in Book and Colbert being in the shuttle. Again, not very interesting. Not padding, but certainly not very interesting. And so a lot of that first, for me, third, was really not very good. Should have been radically shorter, and just skip all the space. Just skip all the stuff you're not good at. Fist fight, boring, space battle, and if you're gonna throw in more stuff about working together, then why have Burnham trip her up and start fighting her? She was on your side for a bit, or just shoot her, stun her, and move on. Right? It's just wasting time, and it's not interesting. It's not interesting, right? So the first third, I'd say, was pretty boring. There's action, and the action was boring. Right now, then it gets into stuff with the progenitor, Burnham, and Saru, and the other one, which is fine. I don't think any of it was particularly amazing. You know, I mean, certainly visually, okay. Twists were interesting in terms of the progenitor being not the progenitor, but yes, but no, it was interesting-ish. And then you've got the start of the 40-minute wrap-up, right? I certainly thought the flash forward was pretty decently done, considering. It certainly left you with a, ooh, what could happen next? You know, which is ironic, it's the end of it, but that had a good pace, I thought, and it felt appropriately, whatever. And you know, decent old age makeup. I mean, it's obviously, well, they don't say obviously, but they have yeah, this is obviously mega future tech, so that of how old you're going to look in the future is very relative, right? But you make a person that takes 9 months. I don't think Burnham's getting pregnant straight away, so let's say 3 years. He's not going to be a captain for at least 32, 33, 34, 35 years, so you're looking at 40 years later, potentially. Let's say Tilly for 30 years, but 30, he's not a captain at 29, is he? That's boy, they're begging for captains. So 35 years, Burnham was what, like 75, 80, 70, yeah. But tech is advanced, right? So I thought the face was good. The white hair was, if you don't do that, you'll think it's too little. If you do too much, you'll think it's too much. I thought it was pretty interesting. New uniforms again. I mean, my goodness, more goddamn uniforms. Not very interesting uniforms, I will say. New badge. And guess what, Stuart? Stuart? Wow, foreign slip. Guess what, audience? I've done a good amount of time today doing prep for those videos. So we have got lots of That makes sense. Oh, I know it's still open. Oops. So I actually like the last little bit, going very much on the nose about having, you know, the goodbye scene, which was very much on the nose. All it was, having it be ethereal, was nice. I didn't see the flashback. I saw it as literally a let's all say goodbye to the cast. Although then the new bridge crew weren't there, which I thought was disingenuous. The new two front people. If you're going to have them in more of the episodes than Roshcombe and Detmer, then you should have them there. Not just the old people who've not been there the entire season. That felt disingenuous to the show. And not having Vance there, who's been a major part of the new stuff. I mean, you've got to pay more people for more days, but, you know, pick and choosing who's there. They had the new Bryce. But, so that was a bit like, well, either just didn't want to pay everyone there or whatever. Blah. You know, but I really enjoyed the epilogue stuff. I thought as an ending shot, pretty decent. Okay, you tell me now. I had a sinking suspicion in my soul, and I didn't like it. How many people, raise your hand in the chat right now, if you thought that Admiral Michael Burnham's son was given captaincy of the new USS Enterprise X, and that was going to be the note they're going to end on. He got the new Enterprise. The legacy of the Burnhams lived on as Enterprise captain. I was so goddamn happy that was not the case. I would have been so pissed off. Not deserving it, you know. God damn it. So I'm very happy they didn't do that. Just male captain, beautiful, love it. Just not of the Enterprise, not of the Discovery B, which I thought they were going to do. You know, who thought they were going to Enterprise? Cause I certainly thought they were going to be very full on. Like, wow, this legacy is amazing. So that's what I thought, and I was very happy to be mistaken. I didn't expect Calypso to be the last scene. That was interesting. Right, let's go back to see what we think. Nope, no idea what Pathway Drive is, and it looks no different, so that's very underwhelming. Yep, nope, the ISS Enterprise never came back. What was the point of that? No idea. Yes, Han, the fighting was spurious, but I enjoyed the wonder of the weird dimensional place. Halo vibes, yes, Halo. And yeah, it was interesting visually. Very LED wall. I mean, it's you know, you can see it, you can feel it, right? And it's funny, the exact same floor pieces were in both segments of the portal area and the other area, and I was like, okay, well, but that's just good reuse, but like, okay, it's the same piece, but you know, as the actor, it must be kind of funny to have to always be in the same set but always look different, but it's like we're always back to stage 6 or whatever to film this, you know. It's a weird thing. Let's have a look. Could have been better. Anyone else think Craft is a descendant of Booker and Burnham? Nope. Why would he be? There's billions of people. There's no reason to think he would be. Hugh didn't get the resolution he was hoping for. No! Hugh, Adira, Gray, Tilly, Stamets. None of them got resolutions. Now, of course, they can all come back in the Academy, which I'm sure they will, just to get some kudos. But yes, exactly. That we know as well. Hyper-focused on Burnham. Hyper-focused. Joseph, the resolution of the progenitor tech just saying, oh, we're beyond this was a bit of a cop-out. I think it was cool, but fell flat. It kind of explains why they put almost no time to the idea of the progenitors themselves, because they, you know, what's the point in delving that much screen time and then to fling them out the airlock, as it were. So they chose to deal with human character beats, which are really just a couple of characters, and then, yeah, not drop the ball, but make an uninteresting end in the grand scheme. They could have done so much more, of course. How about the future uniforms? Okay. Edging Burnham, but pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. They didn't even bother to do a quick shot book. Yeah, they're not very good at space shots, are they? I mean, they're good at anomalies, but not good at space shots. Would have been good when we've seen Old Lady Byrne, would have been Old Stewart and Old Stamets. Well, it wouldn't have fitted in, right? And obviously they're looking at, they don't want to give them much more money to film new, and certainly Sarah would be a whole lot more money. And they want to leave them, they knew for epilogue that we've got the Academy show. We presumably going to have everybody included in some form because they're our legacies now. So leaving it as open as possible is probably what they asked for. And the show's about Burnham, so therefore keeping it Burnham focused was exactly what they would have, very in keeping with the start of the show. Is right. Burnham is that, is all that. Bit rate's too low. Let's do that then. Is that gonna hold? Is that gonna be fine? 3,000, 5,000. Okay, we. That look any better? It's up the quality by a fifth in yeah, no one got resolution. Stay on target. They have all 4 shuttles in the future. Yeah, I mean, if a shuttle can do almost anything, you put a lot of them. But here's the thing, she took Discovery on the last mission. Where was the rest of the crew? And the Spore jumps to the stamina. Yeah, that was odd. I mean, it's the mega future. Why can't they make a Spore drive without a Spore jump? But who Spore drived the ship? They need a person with hardware DNA. And they certainly, tonally, left it in a way that Burnham could easily justify that she would stay on the ship. The way they framed that was odd. You needed to see her on a shuttle looking out the window. You could easily have mistook that she was on the ship when jumped away. Easily. Structurally, that's how the scene kind of played out. Why don't us have Joy's visor? I mean, Joy should have many visors, Go and like it. And plus an easy prop they had accessible, I guess. Yes, they made the Discovery look retro, not Discovery anymore. Yeah. Boy, that old version looked rubbish, didn't it? So Phoebe misses the downgrade refit. Discovery is back to old self by mistake error. Refit was still grey. It looked pretty bronzy to me. In the first shot, it still had bronzy hue. Present flagship, crewing aging. Dumpster is a green Voyager. They spent a from Bob. That's pretty funny. The puzzle she solved could be solved by a 5-year-old. Yeah, it wasn't a very big thing. What if Martin Creed told them she was doing playing? So they rapture. Yeah, that's very true. They could have said, right, Michael Burnham's it. That's the character, possibly. Dear me. Yeah. But it's one of those things where the season as a whole has been fine. Like, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's a weird one because it's a fine season. This has been season 1. You said it was a good start, but of course it's the end. Obviously, massively Burnham focused. I mean, everyone got lines, of course, but not many. And boy, it really did. I said this last week, but it really did not need as many minutes dedicated to the intricacies of dealing with the Lady Primarch with Burnham. If then it was going to be such a, not minor, but uninteresting subplot. Like, it was action through, way, who the hell cares, right? But I mean, they put themselves in the situation to deal with that as a problem. It was odd. Just so much. And you totally could have had a chunk of this week and last week's as well. Yeah, you could have had it end with the... You could have had the end of last episode be, in fact, the... when Maul and Locke go for truce. That could have been a good... But I do like seeing an hour and a half episode or down 20. That said, it's not a slog to get through, but like the first third is just... Which is... I say that, but of course, because they were able to be on the bridge, everyone got lines. Although I imagine Sneaker must think, hey, almost half of my screen time is not with the main cast. very odd for a Trek show to have them just... Well, she was on the bridge, but she wasn't on the bridge in a crewway any point in this episode. Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah, weird that. It's just such a different kind of show. I bet it's not that it was intended this way, but the let's check. We need him. Is that gonna play? I don't want that to play. Stop playing. Oh, I hope that's not playing volume. No, okay, good. It's probably done. If it's sad, shows in. Yeah, do I feel sad it's ended? I mean, I wish it ended more of a high. You know, I wish it had a bigger Bosch wow end beat. You know? And to not give Oshkam or Detmer anything in the last episodes was odd. You know, you could argue it's because they didn't have free time to film, but I mean, you could have shot some cutaways with them. They were free. Just saying, you could have. It's not like we ever saw over to Reese's station and thought, oh look, there's Reese. So. Do you think Stranger Worlds will have a 5-season run? Well, in Audiot 4, as in Commission of 4, which is pretty amazing, I would think it would have at least 5. I mean, it's certainly been significantly better reviewed. And products, I think, are selling far more for it. So I would assume of all the shows, that gained a good appeal, you know. It's hitting many things. Hey, Donnie. Yeah, it kind of depends how close they get to TOS, how good the stories are, how much they keep the original crew, because I think part of the magic is that first cast. If anyone leaves, it would change the dynamic quite a bit. What do you think of the source separation? I mean, it was great to hear. Did we see it? We've got a shot of it, but it was so close that we didn't get to appreciate it. Yeah, no close-ups of the saucer. And since when can both portions Spore jump? Spore drive? Spore... Like, the drive is in the drive's in the secondary hull, but the mechanism to expel the radiations in the saucers. I don't know how it can do both, but okay. It's cool, although a massive god tech, you know, to introduce a Spore drive can jump anything, because that was a giant ship, you know, space station, what, 4 times taller than space dock. So therefore, you know, oh no, I know, Joseph, but the spores have the energy has to be released. It's not just a why is the source need to spin to release the energy? Well, if the secondary hull can't release energy, you know, there aren't spore canisters in the primary hull and saucer. And if they moved some, the conduits between aren't working, so secondary hull is not venting anything. Oh, it wouldn't need the spinning, right? You know, it's a system. You can't split the system. Otherwise, we would have seen the source spore jump previously, which would have been kind of amazing, right? But whatever, right? It just works. Why didn't they jump too? That was weird. That's very weird. Yeah. Dave. We'll never watch seasons 3, 4, and 5 again. We'll watch seasons 1 and 2 as they were so bad and broken I found them more enjoyable. That's the funny thing. They're shite. The first one especially. cycle and plot hole ridden. But there's more entertaining things, but a lot of it's because they're broken. I think season 3 is pretty damn good. 5 is boring, but a good start and end, and 5 is... What? Okay, how would we all describe season 5? How do we describe season 5? Sergeant Montgomery. Sergeant Prodigy, game is $14.99 PS5. Is it worth it? Yes! Most people who watched it, who played it, thought it was quite good. Yeah, they quite enjoyed it. It's not like a particularly difficult or long game, but yeah, and you get to walk on the Pro Star Bridge, so that's really fun. New voice lines from Darla and Gondala. Yeah, they'd appreciate the, whatever. Can't jump a planet, Spiner. Hey man, how's it going? Well, I doubt it. You'd think the energy requirements would be insane. But, I mean, certainly any ship in the fleet, you can now jump. They didn't even get a single moment of, they will blow up plasma conduits. It just worked fine. And they rerouted it to be doable in a couple of minutes. Very much like the Red Angel suit in Season 3. It just was doable. And they never thought to do it any other way. And I've said this so many times throughout the show's run, but it would have been great if they had a moment when it said, this will blow out the Spore drive and we'll not get access to it anymore, and it'll, you know, it'll be gone. Then you'd have a real limitation feel, right? You'd feel good about it. Nope. No issue in the end. It just worked. It just worked. Crazy. But it's okay. Again, it won't matter in the grand scheme. So, you know, it's funny because if you watch season 5, I think it will be... Season 5 will benefit now from the fact that we know it was a mildly disappointing story end, that we know there's not going to be any really cool things. Visually, fine, of course. Thematically, choosing not to do it, fine. But, like, it never did much, and considering that was an LED wall, right? It's not as if that was a set, so, you know, it was pretty mild. So knowing that there's nothing big in store for the season will, I think, allow the season to work better, because you know they're not reaching very high, so they have less far to fall. Like Picard season 3, of course, they raised bloody to the moon with the Enterprise D, and like that's like holy shit. So now the other season feels bad, you know, or less good in comparison, because you're waiting for the end is amazing. This does not have that. Certainly does not have that. So it'll feel better. Whereas when we watch the season, you know, wondering, will it be the best season ever? Will we enjoy it? Will we whatever? But all the potential's there. And to watch and say, it's okay. Like, yeah, I mean, it's, you know. Like, that's not great, but also it's not so disappointing, right? It's weird. At least we've got a progenitor. Pretty obvious we should have. Oh, we did. Let's see. Season 5. As consistent as current British weather. It has been a bit weird. Season 5. What was it? Better than average. Yes. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, you look at... I really enjoy Voyager for the sci-fi, right? You look at all the Voyager one-off stories, it's like they're better than the entire season of Discovery, in my opinion, just for more interesting story, better sci-fi, better pace, great, you know, whichever. But it wasn't bad, but it could / should have been better. But guys, yeah, 62 of you here, 37 likes, been going for 38 minutes now with 3 super chats. This will go as long as you guys want to interact with the conversation, so super chat your thoughts. Let us know what you guys think of this big season finale. And it was weird that the Enterprise didn't show up, the ISS, that was a setup they could have had. you know, Stuart's big theory, which I don't think was going to happen. His big theory about the Spore drive, my serial network, Culber and Hugh. Nope. And I get they were thinking, right, we have to give everyone something to do. But one of the big problems with serialized storytelling is that you sort of notice the dead ends more when, in theory, you're writing it to be when you're writing it to be an arc, right? You every character should have an arc in that arc. That's kind of the point. You know, I've written a long form piece, and everyone has an arc. You know, everyone learns, at least. So that's, you know, and so seeing Stamets have a thing and then disappear is disappointing, right? And was his last scene? Yeah, his last scene was the one in being sad. Sad about not getting progenitor attack, and then the idea saying that everything will be okay. I guess that's his last scene. It was weird that the Madame President didn't get any real dialogue at her own wedding. You'd think there'd be more to that, but that's okay. There's one very odd Saru thing that we saw. Saru thing that was there that I don't know who noticed. That was very strange. Pike made season 2 the best season of Discovery. Hate the control thing, but is what it is. Well, yeah. Thing is, the main plot, the secondary plot, and the ending were all terrible because they don't make sense. They were changed. You know, the 7 signals aren't logical. They don't make sense. The Red Angel seat can't be invented by that era. It can't be built on their ship that they have. Doesn't make sense. You know, unlimited data storage, unlimited wormhole, space drive, time drive. Like, none of it's logical. Doesn't matter how good Pike is. None of that makes any sense to the absolute nth degree. So if doesn't matter how good one actor is, the thing's broken. Just broken. And so I can't enjoy that for just the structural butchery of that season. Might have some great scenes, but if the story's broken, the story's broken, right? That's why, at least it's a more cohesive story. It just drops the ball in areas where they choose to focus most of the time on Burnham, whatnot. Which almost makes you want to. I said, like, it is satisfying, right, to have Book and Burnham get back together at the end, although it is, of course, kind of rushed. And it is, right? And very weirdly shot as well. That feels like an additional shoot. I can't, because they weren't going that route at the end. So that felt like, we have $25. Let's go to this beach. That's all the money we have, guys. We're gonna go to this beach, which is fine, but whatever. Feed me. If they had a season 6 based on what they were making the show and didn't know its ending, what was your prediction of how they were done in season 6? And were there hints in the ending left in? Oh goodness. Would have been more Academy, for sure. Reyna. Okay. I would have had Reyna be Captain of Discovery then, and Burnham take a different posting to let her do things with Book. More elaborate, interesting things, let her do what she does, be off-world. But Reyna's a good captain, he's earned that for sure. Interesting. If the Daniels reveal was in it, that would have been plot point, I would think. Something, I would have, I assume probably done something more, they've kind of earned, quote-unquote, another time travel plot after a few seasons. They probably would have had a, we must reactivate some old time travel tech to go do a fixed thing. That's very possible. You could see, but that's the thing. Was that an additional shoot just to kind of give closure on that? Maybe, right? Maybe. Good question. I don't think we couldn't have predicted this season from last season, right? Could we? So hard to know. Dave, compare season 5 of Discovery to season 3 of the Orville in terms of quality and potential. Yeah. But they're different though, obviously. This is the Burnham show with other people in it. That's very much an ensemble, character-based, science fiction first story message show. This is not. But it is weird, when you consider the comparison. Lemon Wolf! With the portal now inside the black hole, wouldn't that mean that all of the worlds inside the portal would be connected to a black hole? So these worlds are doomed now. Well, I assume it's like a Stargate, one-way travel for physical matter. So that, yeah, nothing would go in, but or nothing would. Well, no, that would make sense for that. But I would assume they would understand that not let killer matter in. I mean, this is a beyond anything tech. So yeah, I would assume it would be limiting the transmission of matter. Or I kind of assume the portal was destroyed, honestly, because black holes are kind of deadly and dangerous. But of course, you could argue time dilation would cause a slowdown. But I got the assumption it was destroyed in the process, and therefore we've got to find another one. I mean, they kind of closed the book very intentionally. Yeah. I'd love to know what happened to Rhaenys. Damn it, Hugh. And did you guys notice? I commend them. It was very well done, considering. Did you notice that? Because we knew going in that the Hugh actor was not able to get to the additional shooting for that big group hug fest, and you can absolutely tell he's got a body double with a very similar face structure. I think he's a little bit thinner in the face, similar beard, and then they cut from the back. Pretty bold to shoot that from the side. It must be a good body double. And then they cut to a random shot of him smiling on the bridge. For a different season, the lighting was different. It's fine. Really, if you didn't know he wasn't meant to be there, it blended very well. So I commend them for making that work. Because he was obviously not there. But there's another shot where Kolber is in the background. I'm like, that's not Kolber. Instantly, I can just tell that's not Kolber. So slightly amusing. But yeah, he wasn't there. But he would have been, there for 3 shots, right? It was obviously the commander of having them all together, but it's not as if they had a giant dialogue-rich scene. It was just, let's get the guys together and hug. Cool. Which is lovely. But I can't say it exactly added much. And obviously you could have done sort of the, what's it called, the endgame approach, where you include future scenes with people. But then you would lock to their futures, release in their version of the future, of course, only an alternate potential timeline versus the one timeline, because of course timelines keep getting tweaked. That's kind of the point. Let me just save this. Always more lightwave to render. Always more lightwave to render. Yeah, guys, if you your thoughts, comments, and questions. Yeah, I'd love to go more than an hour, but yeah, it's up to you guys. Let's see. Why would Daniels use his real name for Enterprise and a code name for Discovery? Well, because Daniels was... No, it's very easy, because Daniels, as we knew him, was a youngish agent who worked for the Time War Brigade. This is a 80, 90, 100-year-old Daniels, who is in a post-Time War Brigade, who's one of the last agents in active service. When they're not doing time travel anymore, they're doing other missions, and he's been drafted to continue in a role that's using his experience, but not in a time-related form, although that could be revealed later. Yeah, it makes total sense. Like, plus you could argue that maybe the name Daniels got known for all his many Time War things, and to have a fresh start. You need to have a different name. So everyone knows. It's like everyone knowing Archer's name. Give him a different name. That's absolutely fine. For a moment, I thought it was going from A to B, but no, it was changing back to. So yeah, I thought it was going to be the B, which I thought was weird. Giving her son a hyper relic. Now, if they'd done a random new design, then they could have. But design new Discovery just for one scene would have been weird. But I kind of assumed it was going to be Discovery. Before it was the Enterprise assumption, I thought it was going to be the Discovery B. Would have been nice, but no. Or would have been interesting, but no. It was just retro version. Shell Bay door was closed. Yes, the Shell Bay door was indeed closed. Yes, feed me. Well, I mean, that's the thing. make clear they reset some programming, so they could easily have tricked Zora to think it'd been 1,000 years. So there's definitely some get out of jail free in there. And the way Burnham said someone called Kraft is coming was very odd, because how would she possibly know that unless it was like, wait 2 days, right? Right? Could have been so many things. Dustin, none, absolutely fine in the grand scheme, nothing. Oh, Fleetpool, what do you mean? What uniform are you referring to? Yeah, I forgot the uniform shift. When they're like, oh, we're not going to make a new command, we're going to make it about science. That was funny, wasn't it? Oh, that was really funny. That's funny. So what, was Zora waiting for... And that event has not been seen yet, but Croft does have part of the story, but shows... I mean, they were just trying to close a loop of continuity. They weren't trying to trying to close a loop so you knew it was going to happen. They weren't trying to answer any questions because it was still the future. They don't know. But what a really odd choice that a random short that never had any intention of being connected was the epilogue. You know, now the good thing is that it puts Discovery out the commission, but for 30 years it was still doing things, so who knows. Yeah, female, it could have been, but I guess not. Yes, exactly, people. How did they die in the final? No. Shouldn't have been. Shouldn't have died. Everyone most seemed okay. Dunno. But 103 votes. What do you think of this episode? That is a very split poll. Goodness. So 24% of you, which is roughly 24 people, loved it. 8/9/10 out of 10. Liked it. Again, 26%. 6 to 7 out of 10. 23%. So it was okay. 4 to 5. 26 didn't like it. Wow, that is a insanely split poll. Hey, Matteo, how's it going? But yeah, like I said, I thought it was thoroughly decent. I don't think it... I said to two of my friends earlier that it was very in keeping with Discovery. What does it put? 108 votes. Let's have a look what else feels like. I figure the reason Burnham would move out of Craft is because Kovic. I just classify mission because when that scene beings the old Burnham. Oh, it's clearly worked for Kovic since. How Kovic know about Croft? They're throwing maybes out, right? They're throwing maybes out. We don't know. Hawk, yes. Message the Trek Shorts Facebook page. We're both Kovic with Q. How that made more sense? Q's an omnipotent being who would not have done anything he did. That makes no sense. Crazy. Thom. Well, most sci-fi writers don't understand science fiction, like as in like high-end sci-fi. They just understand fiction potentially. Then you have people who might know science fiction more or science in it. So pretenders aren't original Roger enters the tech. Question becomes who is. Does it even matter? But I did like that didn't diminish the progenitors, because they obviously built their own society and then found tech, which they then utilized to build life, but that was their choice, as in it's a buffet of skill, right? You can do whatever you want with it, so they could have, so they still get the credit for it, even if it wasn't necessarily their tech, although they could have added to it, who knows. So I thought that was reasonably well done. They were still great, but not the be-all end-all. I suppose it wasn't Q. Yeah, I mean, Q would make no sense whatsoever. That doesn't any structurally. Yeah, Mateo wasn't ACG. It was all practical, I think. They wouldn't really have... they wouldn't have had any budget for that, I'm brutally honest. Yeah, I don't know why you think it would be Q. It wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, Daniels is fair. It just means he stayed around working with Starfleet for a very, very long time. And certainly implies that he's very old. Which I'm okay with. Service to the last. Yes, Wonderfest. Huzzah. Hi, Trekyard. Just coming to the first hour. 112 votes on the poll. Only 3 super chats so far, so you guys haven't got that many thoughts. That's okay. Probably shouldn't have had so much caffeine to wait for this if you guys aren't for a long live, but hey ho. But no, it was okay. The first 30 minutes was kind of boring. Which is funny because in action, but it's not very good action, right? I skipped all that stuff. Maul was not very smart. Not saving Locke was a good move probably, but makes his appearance even less important in the season. And certainly watching the whole season back, you will not relate to him as much because his character is so small. So small. And yeah, Hugh not getting close. It's very strange. And weird. It's just they're not the best writers, are they? They can't cram a lot in. We were comparing this the other day to Stuart. That, you compare one of these episodes that's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes, whatever, to Prodigy, and they can cram more story into 25 minutes than Discovery can in 50. Every single time. And more character growth, I'd say. I mean, you've got to write more precisely when you only have 20-something minutes, but they just don't use time efficiently in this show. And it would be, I say this for Picard, but, be interesting to do a version of this season that's cut down. How much can you take out? you know. That's the thing, you can have a less... If you know there isn't a big payoff, then you structure it differently. I certainly, I mean, I've said this throughout. Unlike Season 4, which is very bad at this, if you compressed the clues down, which are not particularly engaging, really, if you compress it down to 1.5 clues an episode, because you'd start a clue, finish it, start the next one in an episode. They'd burn through all the clues by episode like 7. You have and also the museum, because it'll be 7. So you have 8 to do the Breen arc. And then you have 9 and 10 to make a more epic progenitor thing, with the end of 10 being the end. Now, I was reading out the season, I would have changed a whole lot of things. I'll reiterate if you guys have any super chats to put your thoughts in. I'll talk about this for a second. As I said previously, I would certainly, from episode 2, as soon as we learn that they're scientists, I would have shown the scientists in flashbacks and seen, you know, we use the LED wall to rebuild a runabout in digital, you know, build the chairs and everything else in digital set, easily doable, not a problem. And you have first contact area uniforms, and you just do flashbacks. You see them come together, you see them find the preserver technology, you see it from their perspective, you see them meet the progenitor potentially. Obviously this is changing the season, so you'd give another twist at the end, but something far more meaningful. And yes, it would change the ending radically to see the progenitor, let's say by episode 5 in the flashbacks. Then you've had twist. Either someone takes over the tech, or it's been corrupted, or maybe the tech doesn't want to be used. Don't know. But I would certainly have had, because the setup would have been the scientists, I would have had at the end, say, their brains got scanned and put into the computer on the wherever they were, and that you then see them at the end. You know, that would have been interesting, right? Yeah, it's just if you don't go that, and it's funny because the idea is ambitious, but they didn't realize it in any way at all. No, that dude Vince, they used none of the tech except Mole triggered a bad thing which caused a gravity thing, I guess. They didn't explain it. Yes, Mole will eventually become an agent of some kind. Sure. Rebuild her, that's fine. Yes, exactly, Han. And I'm glad they went into that a little bit. They could clone him perfectly, which you'd think they probably could do by then anyway, but it wouldn't be memories. And obviously the memories are dead with the person, so maybe if it'd been dying, they might be able to clone the memories, but dead is different. Rain no Tank, well, yes. Did Zora become a new life form? Well, she sort of was earlier, and they diminished her significantly this week, or this episode, into being just the ship's computer, because she was kind of implied to being more interesting, and they just didn't do anything with that. Just reiterating plot things. She became, you know, ironically, Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest, kind of just the computer where you knew she was depth you could have pulled from. And just, you know, I always find it funny that they take credit for scientific discoveries, but they're just asking the computer to cross-reference something. It's like, I mean, the computer did all the work, you just had an idea, and yes, I did half the work, but it's not like the olden days when O'Brien would have an idea himself and then do the technical stuff and then be satisfied. It's like, no, Azora did a thing, she did a thing, well, hey! It's like, okay, cool. I mean, she did the thing, kind of. You know, it's teamwork, but it's unsatisfying teamwork. Unsatisfying teamwork. 39. Right about interactive. Good, get the rendering for them. Australia is not real. It is not. I will never watch Discovery again. I'm happy. It's funny. almost forgot. We forgot about Discovery in between. And Fleetpool says, you said that, but it'll probably, Austin, but give it time. 10 years from now, probably if them as Enterprise. You say that, I really don't think it will, because Enterprise is vanilla but not bad. It cares about continuity, it has more compelling characters, more diverse characters, as in more of them to play with. Season 3 is better than any season of Discovery. Season 4 is very good. It has a lot of good. Discovery has a lot of bad with some good. And I don't think it's going to be the same thing. Because they're just less good to pull from. Yes, the Klingons first season won't have the same reaction because we're long since past it. But, you know, it hasn't got the core of quality that it needs to be enjoyed later. Plus, Enterprise, what's interesting about it is that, of course, you can watch the 80, remember 10 that were fantastic, 20 that were good, and forget about the 60 bad ones, right, in your brain. But Discovery, they've only got like 60 episodes, so you'll remember the 5 really good ones, the 10 mediocre ones, and then, you know, the 17 bad ones. Like, this, the ratio so much that you will not appreciate, like, they will feel a lot less. I don't think there's any. And what's the best episode of Discovery, right? Like, the bar is so much lower. Look at Into Mirror Darkly, or the one with oh gosh, the Xindi guy Degra, him in the shuttle, or the Vulcan, the one where T'Pol's addicted to Tritium D. Like, some really interesting big episodes. Wow, those are really well acted and whatnot. And there's very few of those in Discovery to remember. The only one that sticks out is the murdered season 1 episode, the time loop one. But that's because it's such a different breath of fresh air. It's not like an amazing episode or anything. It's just a breath of fresh air in that season. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the same feeling. Now, maybe new fans who don't care about canon anyway and just want to watch a dumb action thing, maybe, because if you're not thinking about story, structure, characters, you just want to see a fun. You don't get anything about it, sure, but you also don't get the plot hole things of season 2, say. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to watch this Enterprise now and see how much better it was than Discovery, I mean. Interesting. It's a very weird sort of stuff. So Bob, well, is the future. Discovery season 3 onwards felt like Mass Effect something. At least it was interesting. Yeah, if they started season 3, it would have been a solid show. They could have grown. It's sad they had to waste so much money to get to that point. It's going to be an odd show, but at least it didn't end badly. And given that Boehm is the main character, and Book was a very good character in the grand scheme, not particularly based this season or anything, but in the grand scheme, pretty darn good. Therefore, then the closure was nice. Happy ending for them. Yeah, I want our characters to have nice, pleasant, happy endings. Huzzah. But it would be nice to see more. The Adam. Now they've been out for a while. People have even softened on the Kelvin films a bit. Yes and no. It's all contrast, right? People are now softened onto the prequels because the sequels are so much worse. So contrast. If you think that's as low as the franchise can get, it feels the worst. But if you know it can be worse, then like, oh, at least it's not this. So Discovery is so much worse than the JJ films in many ways. they think they're better because they're not trying for as much, or at least they're trying for stuff and they're failing, but in a different way. They're still massively broken films. At least they're fun and dynamic and so ignorantly unique to Trek that they're just their own thing, right? But they're still not good films, except the third one. You know, after Nacelle and you know, Nero, for some reason not going to warn Romulus, but instead, whatever. It's just right. They're not better than they were, but we now know they could be worse. Contrast. It's important. It's good. You know, in good sci-fi, characters need to have arcs. They need to get to know them to be able to care about them. Oh god, you don't even compare this to Babylon 5. I mean, you know, this show is not going to be anywhere in the annals of history compared to Babylon 5 or Battlestar. That shows what you can do with interesting characters, and those shows had far less money per episode than any of these shows. You know, spectacle. I mean, just the space battles in both those are infinitely better than Discovery. My goodness, I mean, the Babylon 5 sequences are still significantly better than anything in Discovery because they're well structured, they're well framed, they're well paced, the scope is impressive. Yes, the texturing is terrible and such, but that's it was made 20 years ago. But the filmmaking of them is still absolutely tremendous, right? Yeah. Madness. How did Rainier deal with mud? Which mud? He'd have a stern look towards the classic. He would throw you in the brig and have many guards. I mean, I think it's very intricate. But let's see what the poll is like. 129 votes. The current winner, oh, we've shifted. Again, super split, super evenly split. Is loved it, 8 out of 10, higher or higher. Second is liked it, / didn't like it, and then okay. So can we get 5 more votes? And another 6 or 8 likes would be great. Any super chats would be great, otherwise I'll end pretty soon. But yeah, it's nice to get my initial thoughts out. See what you all think about things. Yeah, very mixed. And we obviously asked everybody at the start of the season, is this going to be the best season? So let us know. But put in the chat right now, is this the best season of Discovery? Most people, quote unquote, most people thought or said this was going to be the best season of Discovery. Who has still maintained to that? Oh, such a strange structure. It's just... Imagine having this much money to play with. A Star Trek license and you know, reasonably talented actors, right? It's just amazing they can't reach the promise of the premise, let alone anything else. Strange. Jake, yeah, it makes you wonder what they'd done if they'd known it was the final season. Yeah. I mean, they said not a lot different. Probably would have insisted and had more... Well, every year we've said this, but have more of the secondary cast involved would have been a lovely thing to include. But we've said that the whole time, you know, to include, give them more. But it's not their show. They are every single bridge crew member except Tilly is an extra. All of them. And that's sad. That is sad. You can kind of argue that so was Sulu and the rest, but they had an identity. You felt like you knew who they were. There's a lot less of that in this, which is a shame. They had years, and every season they said we're going to do more of them, and they never did. They never did in a meaningful way. Yeah, it'd be so interesting to rewrite this. And I've done so many Star Trek bits of content I could do so much with. Imagine me the budget and just letting me go would be crazy. I would say that it was best season as soon as we were runner-up. Well, yeah, I'd say season 3 was easily the best. I wouldn't even give it a second thought. Disco has always had trouble sticking landing. A lot of people liked season 2, but I remember being let down by the original. Yes, absolutely. I think we groaned out loud it was Michael. And again, the horrendous space battle at the end with no pacing. The fact that, remember, there was a blast door that survived a torpedo strike that destroyed the rest of the ship in front of it and left the door in the corridor and let him live. Is like, what? I mean, just really laughable things that any scriptwriter would not include. It's just obvious things. Just madness. Oh God, yes, Bob. No Discovery roller coasters. We got away from them. We did it. That's a good feeling, isn't it? They managed to not do them for a season. Ha frickin' czar. Rel, his ranks for best. Is that best season or best season finale? DS9, TNG, Picard, TOS, Stranger World, Lower Decks, Discovery, Prod, Voyager, TAS. Voyager so low, Jesus. That's sad. Voyager's great. I mean, yeah, Dustin. I mean, you know, the actors, you know, left one at a time because they weren't getting stuff to do. Finally, the pandemic gave no other work, but yeah, I wonder what else do the people do because they certainly didn't do anything in Discovery. Let's see. Actually, yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Discovery. How many episodes everyone was in? That'd be interesting. Given they had multiple without any of the main. Let's have a look. Okay, so Nequa is in 65, so is Stamets. So they're the only ones in every episode. Sarah's in 60. Tilly's in 57. She totally left and then didn't leave at all. Detmer's in 52. Wow, so she wasn't in 7 of 13 episodes. Wow. Hugh was, but he did die, wasn't in 15. Rice wasn't in 15. Oshcombe wasn't in 16. Bryce, wow, well, he left the season, but he wasn't in 24. Nilsson wasn't in 30s for many. Booker was in 33 when there was only in 3 seasons, so he was in probably every episode of the seasons he was in. Linus in 33, goodness. Dara 29. Computer's in 30. Who is a Nullisus? What? Who's this person? I have a Blackwell. Who is this? Who's Nullisus? Oh my god, it's the alien creature with the headmaster that looks like a bug. Okay. Ashtar's in 25, George's in 24, Zora's in 22. Goodness. Okay, what's Emily Coots been doing, you know, off... What did she do that was not this? Nothing. She did not do anything in the released years. As in 13 to 14. Oh, an actress anyway. Upcoming, she's a writer of a short, come out this year. And a writer of a short last year. Okay, and then Oshcombe was in one TV episode 2024, which was the recent Avatar game. Cool. So yeah, they did not do a lot in that time. That's interesting. That is interesting. Wow, Rel, Voyager Solo, that's super disappointing. To have Voyager under Discovery is horrifying. Prodigy on Discovery, god damn, that's horrifying. And Picard over TOS? It's only got one good season. TOS has 3 good seasons, with 2 tremendous seasons and 1 incredible season. Wow, that's crazy. Crazy. Well, Fleet Prodigy didn't launch Lower Decks Prodigy. It launched Stranger Worlds. Prodigy and Lower Decks were... They needed stuff for the network. They didn't launch it. They just allowed Trek to get on the map. But they're not linked to Discovery anyway. They've got new showrunners. That's why they're their own thing. Same in Picard. They're their own thing. Only Stranger Worlds and Academy are linked to Discovery directly. Everything else is because other people were asked by Paramount or pitched Paramount to do a show. Because the streaming wars need to have more streaming shows. There was a spot and they pitched them. All pitched them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, watch Acolyte. Watch Acolyte. Oh, wow, I actually watched season 1. You like season 1 of Picard? Wow. It's more cinematic in a lot of ways, but it's plot holes. It's so many plot holes. My God, it's awfully written, and it makes Picard look so pathetic. It didn't get him right in any way. It's horrible, and the end is horrific, absolutely horrific. And the first episode is so good, and it ends so horrific. There's definitely more good episodes in TOS than are episodes of Picard, right? There's more than 30 good TOS episodes than any of Picard, like, as a thing, so that's why it should at least get higher than Discovery. Sure, Fleetpool, yeah. They put Trek back into the ether, but yeah, only because the stream wars heated up and people needed content. Of course, Prodigy and Lower Decks were very cheap in comparison, so they were away. Let's see what happens, and of course, Lower Decks didn't get the reaction, but it was Paramount's fault, I'd say. Well, Rel, why wouldn't the ship be fixed? You say it as if they would allow their ship to be a mess. I mean, this is a very talented crew that are travelling at warp every day of the week, except maybe one they're visiting something. They got 6 days of full time to repair the ship. They would always repair the ship. It's just their duty. It'd be weird if the ship was damaged every week, because that'd imply they were always in trouble every week, which means, as in, like, they're always being damaged every week, which implies they would, wow, they're fighting every single week, which would be weird. Now, BSG was allowed to be damaged because the ship was already massively damaged. If you look at Pegasus, she was also fighting wars, but the exterior was always pristine until the end, because she had repair crews and she was set up to be repaired. Galactica was a museum, it was already 50 years old. I didn't have the resources to repair it adequately or to repaint it. Pegasus was always pristine. So I never got that argument. Saying you want it to be always destroyed was saying every week it had to be in firefights with somebody or near firefights, in which case all the tensions are removed instantly because they're always surviving phaser fights. What's the point in that? Or every episode is so close together they haven't got time to repair, in which case the show's only taking place in a couple of weeks because they've got so much free time. They've got an entire team of engineers to just fix the ship every week. Like, they just fix, that's all they're doing, right? And they're not doing firefights most of the time, and it's not that big a ship even. Like, I never got that point. Year of Hell was so specific. You'd have to have serious narrative conceit to say it was always looking damaged. Like, even if there was a score on the hull, you're bored. Like, the crew's in general bored, right? There's not much to do, so you just drop out of warp and you repaint the hull. It'll take a day. Like, why wouldn't you, right? Keep the spirits up, looking fresh. It wouldn't make any sense, right? The amount of damage that ship suffered should have left some scars. They would fix it. Like, remember, shields take most damage. Then it's just internal damage, which they're fixing all the day. Only when shields are down will there be actual damage to the hull. Then okay, fine, but that's really radical situations where the shields are down. That's going to be very, very few, or almost death. And again, you can't have that many almost death without ruining the pace of almost death. So it's really unlikely. Interior fine, but again, you just replicate a new bulkhead and you put it in. It should be pristine at all times. I'm just saying, like, there's no reason for it to be damaged unless the crew is shit. Now, Equinox was the point. They only had like a 50-person crew. Half of them died when they got there, which includes the engineers. And the ship was, once you get to some point of damage, they couldn't repair it quick enough because it was under attack. I'm sure Equinox was fine for most of the trip until it got attacked every single day with death knell blows. That's why that was screwed. They couldn't have time to live, let alone repair it. So I've never got that as an argument, because it obviously would be fixed every week, unless they were like the next episode, in which case the season's only going to be a couple of days. Sounds a bit boring to me. Bob, it was not. They would have done it much better. Yeah, that was my rant of the Voyager, because I've thought about these things for a long time. Anyway, we're about to be at the hour-and-a-half mark, guys. About 5 super chats. You guys have put your opinions forward, but unless we're going to do some of those, then I won't be doing. You can have hull scorching even through shields. Look at Kittimer, Battle of Kittimer. When was well, we know the big hit was through shields, as in it blew past, like, into the shield and into the hull because the shields fell and were down. I mean, you look at Nemesis and there was not hull scoring on the ship until right at the end. When was Battle of Kittimer when they had through shields? Because in Star Trek 2 all the damage was when they had no shields. When was there scoring when there was and torpedoes a little bit and also they're not targeting certain bits. I don't know if there was much scoring, because that would take I mean that would be an insane amount of power to hit through all of the shields and hit the hull, which is also not at the, like, you have to go shields, then through the shields, do enough damage to hit the hull, which is also hull plating to score a design to be hit shield plating. I don't know, I think that one hit went through because it was... Okay, now I'm going to look at their battle. I don't think that's the case. There's a turn shot where it has some damage, but I can't remember where that is in the battle to remember. Let's have a look. I'm intrigued now. You got me wondering. Although, of course, they also, in 6, or in 2, they also had hoovers. Or, you know, they had odd things that didn't necessarily make sense to Trek. Okay, so it's firing torpedoes. 1 torpedo hits, they go bah! They're lovely red leather. Lots of motion, probably too much, really. Excelsior comes in. Oh, a lot of sparks. Not sure what that was causing. Lot of sparks. Those are. Well, that caused a lot of damage. I'm not sure why that caused a lot of damage. So we're half the battle and there's no scoring yet. Gosh, it's exciting, isn't it, watching? Oh, no, there's a shot in the saucer, but they never shot the saucer that we saw. Dunno. It's weird to have an because that's a giant flipping hole in the saucer, which means that got through shields. That's not a score. That's actually that the shields weren't functioning. That's very strange. That explains why there's all the debris, but that doesn't even make sense. But then the shields are down to... Oh, it doesn't make any sense, does it? I don't remember ever seeing that before, because there's no sequence for it. That's weird. It's an unnamed, whatever shot. Anyway. Yes, Year of Hell could have been a whole season. That'd been great. It was bounce off the hole. Yes, Jake, I'm 6 foot in shoes. You doubt me, Samuel? Yeah, why is there but the shields are up, why is there a that's a imply they got through shields, which is not hitting shields through shields, because you wouldn't, that damage was due to the shield impact. I don't know, it's a little bit different when a bird of prey, although we never see it move, but in theory if the bird of prey can pick shield faces, but it's not how that works either. Dunno. That is weird. Yeah, Rel, that would be huge damage. Yeah, now thought of that would be noted the next week. Yeah, that'd take a couple of weeks to fix. I mean, again, you got round the clock. Yeah, you know, a corridor and some Jeffrey tubes underneath it. Sure. Although, no, Fury was undone. No, Fury... If they let the hull keep getting blown up and... No, because the first Fury timeline, she crashed and then blew everything up. The second time they let her beam in willingly or something. There's a slightly different twist on that. I don't think she actually blew it up the real timeline, if I recall correctly, because that was part of the initial... Wow. I think they changed that round. Oh, and also the Vidian. Now the Vidian stuff. That's a lot of hull. But yeah, replicate it. Wouldn't take super long. Okay, so that's the past. Yeah, look at that hull scroll. That's great. Look at that. Oh yeah, I can see a corridor. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, the corridor's to the side. That's weird. Oh, I love the fact it turns and pews. That's great. What a great sequence. Okay, so in the present, there's the cake. She is... No, she does still blow it up. I mean, yeah, she'd blow some pipes. That's not that difficult to repair. That's fine. Won't take that long. It's a future ship. If you can't repair a few hull damage, it's not an issue. Let's see. The Scotch, dear me, but it happened off screen, which gives it very confusing. You know, it never happened; it just was. It's weird. I wonder if that was a cut sequence I didn't think was needed, because you damaged the miniature without a justification, as in the Enterprise A. It's like, okay, bit weird. But I guess, guys, that's near the end of us. So I guess final super chat thoughts. Would love, another 20 or whatever to, help go out on this review. I'll reiterate, it was fine. Could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot worse. Epilogue was pretty decent. The fact that in the Eclipse was a nice touch. Well, Rel, nope, they didn't have dots, because you're not retconning all Trek to have dots. That's pathetic. They never thought that in any show up until Stranger World Discovery, so you can't retcon a non-thought into that. It's just utterly pathetic. We're not doing that. No. Was it rooms at any, whatever. But yes, let's finish off this poll then. Gosh, okay. 145 votes. What do you think of this episode? Winner! Wow, Jesus. 28%. 8 to 10 wins. Loved it. 28%. And a 3-way split. 24% for everything else. That is crazy. That is a very rare thing to see. So, oh, and it just swapped. But it was that. Wow. Don't know if I've ever seen an actual 4-way split that close before. It's kind of with that much varying opinions. So everyone is totally split on it. Wow. Cool. Ah, yes, it was better than Enterprise. Yeah, okay, there we go. We'll end on a high note, right? In the chat right now, let me know. Did you enjoy this or the Enterprise finale more? Gut reaction in the chat. Say your piece. I want to know. Do you have a thought? Yes, I think this is a better episode of TV, but it is twice as long and actually focus on at least the main character of the show. So it's kind of would be hard if it was worse, but let us know. Oh, Fleetpool, $5. Let's bring back some sniping. Hashtag snipe through the Enterprise ace shield with the torpedo. And I'll show you off line with the torpedo, scorch the hull. Dear me. Yes, I mean, hey, a $1 sniping will be great. 7 ones will be tremendous. Yeah, if you like this episode, if you didn't like it, put in $1, let us know. Yes, the Adam. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. I just want a happy ending with him and Topol. Is that too difficult to ask for? Really? Really? I don't know what they were thinking. It's very strange. Discovery, this one Enterprise, Discovery finale. Oh, thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. Enterprise is better. Okay. Need more sparkling. Yep. Enterprise had more heart. I felt like the final scenes were earned, but sort of, yes, I think the final Enterprise scene with the Sun Charter was great. Like, from a thematic point of view, that had a lot of canon meaning, and of course seeing Riker and Troy was tremendous. The final scene was great. Yeah. Marcus, yeah, Discovery is better, but low expectations. Enterprise was the opposite. Yes, it was worse with high expectations. Yes, and they knew that was, well, I mean, they kind of did. They knew with enough time to change the script. It was their final. They knew while filming Into a Darkly Part 1 that they were cancelled. So. I also asked the general YouTube community tab what they thought of this episode, and I asked them 6 hours ago. We have 166 votes in that poll, which is a different group of people who obviously aren't live right now. The winner is didn't like it at 30%, met okay at 29%, liked it at 25%, loved it at 16%. It's very opposite to this, with 166 votes. Fascinating. 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 But yeah, well, thanks for joining me for this. Thanks to all the 65 of you, which is great, that joined in. I had planned to do a Discovery video tomorrow, but, you know, if you guys aren't that hyped up Discovery, then we could do something else maybe instead. Something more exciting. Maybe debate the season finales. Don't know. Because we decided to do non-Discovery content again, because we had some real fun stuff in between. But Jazia, good to see you. You're best on the Citadel person. $10 Canadian. Tremendous. Tremendous. It's better as a final than These Are the Voyages. I would agree. Wrapped up the major plot points convincingly. I would agree. Just found the last 30 minutes dragged. Oh, okay, the last one. And got too sappy. Nothing meets all good things. Poker ending, short and sweet. It was okay. So I think the first 30 minutes dragged. This would be an interesting debate, actually, as to the best. But can we all agree, guys? Let me know. Last thing. Can we all agree that Voyager's Endgame was a far better season finale than this one? We had the Borg, we had 2 Janeways, we had as Krieg back, we had a really satisfying ending, we had Blana's daughter, seeing them, we had all the future stuff, all the present stuff, we had 7/9's arc. Like, can we agree Endgame was significantly better? The CG was fantastic, the space shots were great, the armor was amazing, the 2 Janeways, the flawless split screen, just flawless. Can we agree that was a much better finale? Because it absolutely was, in every way. And everyone got something to do. Did Kim get much to do? Not as much, but still. Yeah, I quite like the last half an hour as well. But it is slow, but it's a good slow. You know, it's ending slow. Oh, Dustin, I assume that won't. They can warp anywhere very quickly, so it's fine. Yay, people agree. But I think it's a very big, bold one. That should have been a movie. If Voyager ended on another episode and that had been the movie with a bigger budget, would have been phenomenal. Yeah, Jose, really good pacing. You're correct. Really, really good pacing. Yeah, future tech. But that was the last Trek they had of any kind. No, Nemesis was after. They didn't address it there. Anyway. Yeah, you should Australia. It's great. Australia. Well, it's like 6 endings. Well, thank you, Jazia, for jumping in right at the last minute to see you. Might see you guys tomorrow, depending how we feel. I have prepped a lot of videos on this episode. Stuart is out of town, but I've got, I think, 6 already prepped, ready to go when he gets back. Hopefully you guys will watch and share that. Also, those of you that are still left, keep in mind that I will be I will be doing a new Trek for the Trek Shorts, my fan film group. I will be doing a new fundraiser soon and launching with some fun little short pieces, which are actually quite a lot of work, more than I necessarily thought, but they're cool. They're very special location, which I'm very excited I finally got into film, because they're great. And if you love you know, variable parts of fun Trek canon, then I'm including some really fun stuff for us fans, as in you and me fans, and that will need some support to help us through the summer and just in general, so keep an eye out for that. And for certain, a pledge on the GoFundMe, I'll get the Discord, which will be fun because I post like, oh, look at a sneaky thing I'm doing, even though it's, you know, a month away, but look at sneaky. I like posting there, it's fun. Yeah, so look forward to that, and then later on in the year, a bigger Indiegogo for more fun, big things. There's some really cool perks coming in that. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Alright, but thank you all for joining in. We all had mixed opinions. You did, Marco. But if you have a super chat thought, I will jump in wherever you want to talk about. If you have a super chat thought, I will linger for a second. If you have a thing you want to say, because every super chat helps. Or not, I can close out. But yeah, my throat's sore now. I can't tell. It's where am I in the lag? Up to you, Marco. But yeah, not bad. It's weird to think it's over, isn't it? Because we started our lives with Discovery, so it's like we've outlived them. We've outlived them. That is crazy. And we'll be doing stuff after them. But I do think they'll show up in Academy, so I don't think the Discovery team is truly gone. I'm so interested to eventually, when it all comes out, the tell-all book, or books about this. You know, oh, I thought I was gonna get more to do, and then they, you know, reduced my, you know, working hours down to half a day a week, and then, you know. But hey ho, it was a different kind of Trek show. That was kind of its jam. Yeah, Marco. Dustin, I am. I have no idea what he's going to say. I assume he'll like it. Yeah, I assume Stuart will like it. But I think it was a little bit too long. I assume he'll love the Daniels bit. I assume he'll like the ending. I assume he'll think Progenitors was a little bit underwhelming. I think he'll also agree the space battle was naff. What else does Stuart think? I think he'll think Wedding was good, and I think he'll say I was right. But I think he'll probably think the age makeup wasn't very good, and think it was a bit stop of end, if I had to guess on that. Yeah. Let's get oh don't do that. Frame 0, okay. Fleetboard, more Trekyards lives in it and episodes of Discovery weird. Yes. 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 By like thousands. Well, thanks, Fleetboard. You have Intercell. Well, oh, and Mark. Yes, indeed. 5th super. Hey, Marco. And you both got us over a number goal. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate it. Welcome to your 5th super chat. We hope you join us for next week's live review with me and Stuart. Lots of editor reviews to come as well. And I'm very excited to do more non-Discovery lives coming up soon. We have many ideas and hopefully a new show idea. Which needs a bit more development, but excited. And like I said, look for the new Trek short stuff if you love, you know, original canon, because we love that too. Thank you, Marco. Thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your day, evening. It's almost midnight here. So until the next time, he was over there. I have a solo. Look, I have a solo first reaction. It's my first solo first reaction. My face is like, hello. Where am I? See? Wait, oh god, I'm reversed, aren't I? Wait. This way, I'm like... something like that. I don't know. Alright. Until next time, here's Commander Cockings, and here's Captain Cockings, and here's all the Cockingses, and goodbye, everybody.